In the men's field, Kiwi Keegan Wright started strong in Rotorua. But Innsbruck saw the rise of the underdog when Matthew Sterling, Matthew who? Knocked out heavy hitter after heavy hitter and went from under the radar to one to watch.
Matthew Sterling knocking the Goliaths down.
With the most competitive field dual slalom has seen since neon skin suits and bar ends were still in style, Whistler is anyone's for the taking. Side by side, we're ready to go with stop number 3 of the Crankworx Dual Slalom World Championship, the 100% Dual Slalom Whistler.
Yes, Michaela, we are absolutely ready. You kidding me? Dual slalom, we love it. This is day 1 of broadcast competition here at Crankworx Whistler 2019. It's all about the 100% dual slalom. I'm Cam McCall, your host, alongside our expert for all things racing, Andrew Needling. Andrew, we're on Blackcomb, like Michaela mentioned. Take a look at this slalom course we have here. This is just what the doctor ordered.
Well, it's an all-new, exciting course. But Cam, you got to think old school. What they've done is they've kept it raw and kind of rough for a slalom course. So that's new compared to what we normally see here in the Whistler Village.
Well, it's a pretty good slalom track if you're going to crown a dual slalom world champion for the men's and the women's category. Who are some of the riders you're looking at right there who've done well earlier on in this season that you think might have the chance of taking the win here or the overall title?
Well, Via Verbeek, she came out swinging this year. She won the first 2 stops of our Slalom World Championship, so she's got to be the woman to beat here, Cam.
All eyes on Via Verbeek, undefeated so far this season. Now let's roll attention over to the men's category. Who do you have your eyes on in the men?
Well, just like Via, Keegan Wright, in his home country, in Rotorua, in New Zealand, he came out swinging. He won that event. He was a little bit sluggish at round 2, but we know he's fired up because he's leading this series, but he needs a solid finish here to take that title.
Well, good thinking. Keegan Wright with that numero uno in Rotorua. But he qualified 9th here today. Did that play into your selection decisions here at all when you built your fantasy Crankworx team for dual slalom today?
Well, it did, but he's a serious leader, so I have put him on my team. Thomas Slavik, he's back from injury. I had to put Via Verbeek in there. Annika Beerten, she is normally always on the podium, so that's safe money. But look down at the bottom, Cam. Cody Keller, he can be a danger man. He's a fast rider in EWS, but he excels at slalom when he puts his name in the hat.
I like that you selected him on your team. It's like a little bit of a budget decision, $125,000. You can get a rider with that much style and finesse for $125,000. You're an expert when it comes to fantasy. Well played. But you're talking about danger men. Do you remember in Innsbruck a danger man by the name of Matt Sterling?
Well, it's a man we knew nearly nothing about before, and he's actually a junior, and he took down heavy hitter after heavy hitter to take down the win.
Well, we're learning more and more about him. Let's just continue this education by sending things down to Michaela Gatto, who's standing by with Matt Sterling.
All right, Matt Sterling, you won in Innsbruck. Is that added confidence or added pressure for today?
Definitely a little bit of both. Super nervous to race, but I'm feeling good, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, I heard that nerves means you care. So what do you care most about this track, and what do you think is going to make you come out on top again?
I just want to reach my expectations, and that's really all I want to do. If I reach my expectations, I'm happy.
Perfect, and we have a new course. What is your favorite part of the course?
The middle part's super fun, the top, the bottom, so basically everything. But yeah, the top corners are super loose, they're fun, just can't mess up, and it's fast.
Loose, fast, and fun, and reaching your expectations. It sounds like you have a perfect formula for another win, so good luck out there.
Thank you.
So Matt Sterling likes the course. So far, what we've seen of the course, we like, but we've only seen what you're seeing right now on the screen. Let's go on board with Thomas Slavik for your GoPro course preview. Take a look.
Here we're standing on a brand new dual slalom track at Crankworx Whistler. I have to say, definitely the wildest track and the longest track of the season you're gonna see on the video. Let's go for the GoPro course preview at 100% dual slalom at Crankworx Whistler.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
So we're going out of the gate, the only flat part of the track. Now we're getting to the really tight flat turns. pure slalom style. First right berm, immediately second left berm, and high-speed section, crossing the speed and style track, triple, next berm, high-speed double, getting to the last part, really tight flat turns again. Whoa, this is sketchy. Getting to the finish line. Oh man, it's muddy. And we're here. Man, this was wild. So this, guys, was GoPro course preview. Fun to ride and definitely fun to watch. Stay tuned.
Count me in, man. That is a dual slalom course if I've ever seen one. What do you think?
I love it. That's exactly how the sport started. A grass field, throw some flags down in there and go and race your buddy. It started way back in 1987. It was on the inaugural events of mountain biking. So I love seeing it raw, but I'm glad they put a few berms in. There's some jumps. There's a triple that maybe only 2 riders are potentially hitting. So there are some options out there.
So we agree, worthy of giving away World Championship titles for the men's and women's category. The woman who's looking really good to win that Dual Slalom World Championship title, she goes by the name of Via Verbeek. Good friend of hers, also happens to be a good friend of ours, Michaela Gatto. Let's get Michaela on the case and find out what's going on through her head. Michaela?
So I'm here with Beek, your current Queen of Crankworx leader. Also, you won Rotorua and you won Innsbruck. How are you feeling today?
Feeling good. Slalom is always fun, and I've been super lucky, honestly. I don't know. It's a mix of luck and preparation, obviously, but I think 2 number 1s in slalom is crazy. So yeah, just having a good time again today.
And I want to talk to you a little bit about time management. You were doing almost every single event here. How do you manage your time? Do you ever nap between practices, or what's going on there?
I definitely feel like napping a lot. I just try to make sure that I feel good on my events, and as soon as I feel good, I don't need to stay there for the entire practice. I just call it quits and move on, and as long as I feel good, I ride good.
So you're being smart, personal assessment. If you feel good, you're going to go take a bit of rest. And when you are feeling like you need a nap but you can't, I know you have a really big sweet tooth, so what do you snack on in between? I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, I try to stay healthy and have, like, fuel myself, but I definitely go for sweets. Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory here is hooking me up with stuff. So, yeah, yesterday I crashed, chocolate. Today I wanted to, like, get some energy, chocolate, and I'm like, woo, buzzing.
So keeping on that sugar high, and we hope to see you on top of that podium here tonight.
Yes, okay.
Well, there you have it. There she was right there, Via Verbeek, on the quest for that Dual Slalom World Championship. She's leading the charge right now. Keegan Wright leading the charge for the men. But there is a whole cast of characters looking to swoop the rug right out from underneath them. This is the 100% Dual Slalom, and it starts right now.
Jill Kittner stomps her authority once again.
Nikolai Rogakin wins the Triple Crown of slopestyle. The king of Crankworx, Sam Blankensob. Yep, that's what I'm talking about right there. 100% Dual Slalom Whistler, the final stop of the Crankworx World Tour 2019. Of course, the birthplace of Crankworx, where it all started so long ago. This is a great day to kick things off. Check out what we have in front of us right now. Blue skies, 26 degrees. You can measure it in Celsius here, but if you're hanging out in a country that uses Fahrenheit, what did it say, 89, 79?
79, but I wouldn't know. I'm from Celsius, so this is a cool, calm for me. It's only 26 degrees. But what's heating up is Austin Warren. He's come out and he's qualified faster, so we will see him in the first heat tonight. Then you look down Keegan Wright. Matthew Sterling, surprise win, relatively unknown. Smashed everyone to bits in Innsbruck. And let's go down to the bottom. Mitch Rapalata is back out here. I can't wait to see all the racing tonight.
Yeah, you said it. A lot of those brackets right there, you look at the two riders who will be facing off and you go, oh man, that will also be just fun to watch. It's a shame that only one can make it through each of these heats. The way it works here in dual slalom racing, you drop each rider you get a winner, you send him back up, you switch courses. The rider who lost the first race has to beat the rider they lost to by more than they lost by on the other course. Take that added up time. One goes home, one moves on. We get rid of 50% of our field every single bracket. It's fun. It's a good time. If you've never seen dual slalom, you're about ready to be hooked.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
So the American, oh, we have a gate malfunction.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not what you want to see right at the first heat. So Austin Warren, our #1 qualifier. So we're going to have to restack them.
So take a look back at this replay. The gate made the sound like it was going to drop, didn't drop for Austin Warren.
I more than hate it, but he's lucky. Often that results in a big crash. So
I was going to say,
let's hope he's not spooked.
I was going to say, I am questioning Austin
TJ,
Warren's
can we go to
here.
headsets and
Usually
get rid of the
gate
mics?
Doesn't drop. You flip right over the bars. All right, here we go. Let's get this going again. Second try there. The gate drops. Austin Warren on the left side of your screen.
So Fabian Cuzzini, he has a great result at Ciotta and early in the year, so he's confident in slalom, and you can see it. So the Frenchman, riders left there against Austin Warren, your #1 qualifier, but Austin Warren is back at the moment.
So Fabian Cuzzini, the 16th qualifier here. This should be an easy one for Austin Warren, but in dual slalom, anything can happen.
Wow, Austin Warren committed through those ruts. That is why he's your #1 qualifier, and he will take an advantage to the next round.
So this is our opportunity to start gauging how equal these courses are. Austin Warren by 1/10 of a second ahead of Fabian Cuzzini there on the rider's right side of the course, meaning he's on your screen left right now. And as these rounds progress, we usually find that one course is slightly faster than the other, and that really plays into things once we get them back up to the start and we switch courses. Let's take a look back at some replays here. The second time we dropped the gate.
So no surprise, Cuzzini was hot out the gate, Bubba Warren a bit tentative, and here we are through the flat turns, and this is where Bubba Warren started making up some time. Great course here in Whistler, and this is where Austin Warren, look at him bouncing out of those ruts straight into the next one, and he'll take that lead going into the next time. We're going to throw them back to the top. Obviously we need to switch lanes, and then it's all to play for.
All right there, so 1/10 of a second advantage for Austin Bubba Warren ahead of Fabian Cuzzini as we focus our attention back to the top of the course here. You got Keegan Wright on the left side of your screen, the man who is leading the World Championship right now. He won in Rotorua. And then on the right side of your screen there, out of France, Youn Deneau. Do you know how to pronounce that name, Andrew? Youn Deneau.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
All right, here we go. Youn Deneau going up against Keegan Wright. Now, a lot on the line here for Keegan Wright. The 9th place qualifier out here, but the man leading the charge for the overall title in the Crankworx Dual Slalom World Championship Series. Now, looking pretty even here as they enter the midsection of the course. Neck and neck, and we're still kind of trying to keep tabs on which course is slightly faster.
It's looking a little bit like the black lane might be a touch slower, but then again, Keegan Wright is so fast out here, but he was evenly matched to Youn, so who knows at this stage.
Definitely neck and neck the majority of this race.
Yeah, Keegan Wright was flawless down the bottom, putting in a big 0.7 margin.
So there, a look back up at the top of the course here. An exciting heat. It's always exciting when you have Elliott Jackson locked in the gate. A very entertaining human, flying the colors for 100% here. Of course, this is the 100% dual slalom. He's been doing a lot of product testing and development with 100%. For a little more on that, take a look at this.
Hey, I'm Elliott Jackson. We're here in Crankworx Whistler. I'm at the 100% booth. One of my favorite things is there's always a bunch of new stuff. So we just came out with a Trajecta helmet. It's an enduro helmet, no detachable chin bar because we wanted it to be safe. That way you can ride enduro, ride downhill, and be comfortable. So one of the things that makes this helmet really cool is the Smart Shock technology. We have individual suspension devices here, so everything moves independently. When you crash, something like that, different parts of the helmet can move at different speeds, different weights, which makes it really, really safe, really comfortable. So one of the things I think is really cool is that with this helmet, it really completes the whole 100% line, from gear to pads to helmet and goggles. And I really think that that's what it takes to make a great product, and I'm so glad that 100% are committed to that.
Well, there he is, loaded up in the gate, Elliott Jackson. Who's he going up against there, Andrew?
Well, there we have it. Matthew Sterling came out absolutely firing. He won the last round in Innsbruck. He's only a junior. So now that there's a little bit more expectations on his shoulders, what does he want from himself? Qualifying in 5th position, so he should have the edge over Elliott. But anything can happen in dual slalom racing, and normally it does. You've got your competitor right next to you in the corner of your eye, and you've got to focus on your own racing and not make any mistakes.
Wow, look at this youngster go. Matt Sterling going to cross the finish line ahead of Elliott Jackson by 0.46. And he just continues to impress us. A complete unknown just a few months ago in Innsbruck, Austria for stop number 2 of this 2019 Crankworx World Tour. And to think now that he's just proving that it wasn't a fluke. You see him on the podium there, a top step, the national championships. Now going up against, you know, in some cases, riders twice his age in the pro men's category here at the Crankworx Festival. Elliott Jackson doing what he could to stay within 0.46 seconds of him. We'll see. He's going to have some work to do when they get back up to the top and switch sides.
It looks like this track is drying out, so it should get faster and faster. It's riding optimum conditions right now. The traction looks just prime for these riders. So Matthew showing no signs of pressure, no nerves just yet.
All right, next in the gate, it's going to be Kendall McLean and Elliott Heap. Elliott Heap on the right side of your screen there. Kendall McLean wearing those red pants.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
So I suspected a good jump from Elliott. He's coming off a 2nd place at the World Championship in 4-cross.
4th place qualification run out here. He's definitely looking to make it into that top 4 bracket today, pedaling through some of these jumps.
You're under 21 EWS World Champion, so we know he's a great bike handler, but Kendall keeping him honest here down to the finish.
Kendall McLean through the finish line first, but not by much, just 0.03 of a second ahead of Elliott Heap. Now that's impressive right there. McLean qualifying in 13th place. So the smart money would be on Elliott Heap, but receiving word right now, we're gonna zero in, get a more zoomed in look here. We're wondering if Kendall missed a gate. So that looks solid so far. Both riders through all 3 of these gates.
Oh, that is
flagrant.
That is not going to fly, is it, Cam? So we all know you've got to go around those gates, so he should be handed a max differential.
The referees are throwing flags from the sidelines right there. Now what we do in this scenario is the maximum differential, which is typically 1.5 seconds, will be added to the time right there of any rider who misses a gate. The gates are there for a reason.
Well, that's the course. You've got to go on the intended course, and something like that, he's better off braking, losing a bit of time, but now he's been slapped with that max differential. So let's look at the brackets. Austin Warren, he's in yellow. He's illuminated. That means he's got the advantage when we throw them back to the top. Keegan Wright, Matthew Sterling, and now Elliot Heap will take that big advantage into the next heat that those guys will run against each other.
Take a look at this next heat right now. I don't throw around the L word frivolously, but I'll use it for Mick Hanna, the legend of downhill racing. Of course, no stranger to dual slalom. He's going to be going up against your 2017 King of Crankworx, Adrian Lerone.
Yeah, no stranger to a Crankworx podium. Both these riders, veterans of the Crankworx World Series. Mick Hanna qualified in 3rd position. Adrian Lerone down in 14th. But not a great qualification from Adrian. This should suit Mick Hanna. I mean, I remember being a youngster and hearing about this guy, Mick Hanna. No knee pads, no elbow pads, and he came out and he won the Sea Otter Dual Slalom, one of the most famous races in the world, and he was still a junior at the time, besting some of the best riders in the world.
Yeah, and there we go, besting Adrian Lerone right here by 0.29. Mick Hanna, the 3rd place qualifier out here in today's 100% dual slalom, showing no signs of slowing down.
No, like a fine wine, they say.
You look at that. Lerone actually got the drive on that first straightaway.
Way less than that, man. I'm like, oh man, that's
So those are the steeper corners of this track here. Definitely steeper than the last few years in slalom. The rider said they're actually quite tricky. You want a bit of suspension to gain traction, and then it flattens out, it's fast down the bottom here, so you got to keep off those brakes.
Now, Andrew, I feel like for those who aren't familiar with slalom, we got to tell them that slalom kind of went dormant for a few years. So some of these more veteran riders in the field, like Mick Hanna, are going to have more experience with this discipline that Crankworx has luckily revived. But all these disciplines out here matter so much in the big picture when you start talking about the king and queen of Crankworx races. What exactly? New Zealand is where we kick things off in Road Rua. Of course, we moved along to Innsbruck, Austria, and now the finals in Whistler, British Columbia. All the disciplines that are up for grabs out there, there are also points up for grabs. The more disciplines you compete in, the more chances you have to win some of those points. And the rider at the end with the most points will be crowned the king. In 2018, that king was Sam Blankensop. The queen, Jill Kintner. Both riders not in the running right now. When you're talking about the race, it's all about Mitch Ropalato. As of yesterday, he's got the most points right now, leading into the final few days of competition in the 2019 season. Via Verbeek has been so dominant this season. Of course, we talked about it earlier. She won the 2 slalom events we've had in 2019. She's looking to do that again here and get as many points as she can to try to lock up that Queen of Crankworx title. But look who we have in the gate right now. How convenient, Andrew.
Well, one of our fan favorites, as well as one of our favorites, because he's such a phenom on a bike, and we just love seeing him here at the Crankworx events. So, as of yesterday, like you said, he is our current leader of Crankworx, and he said he's doing all the events to the finish.
Yes, and then right there, we haven't even talked about this guy yet. Billy Meeklum. And look at this, riding the full suspension bike. We've typically seen him on hardtails throughout the season. Of course, he made his name in Rotorua, his home country, by taking the win in speed and style. I'm thinking he's borrowing a bike because I heard he didn't have a front brake. He borrowed more of a slalom race bike. Mitch Ropalato through the finish line by over a half second ahead of Billy Meeklum. What are your thoughts on that? We heard that Billy Meeklum was riding a hardtail with one brake, but I mean, what we're seeing him ride right now, it's the exact opposite of that.
No, clearly he's got a bit smarter. He's got 2 brakes on his bike. He's gone for a dual suspension, and you can see pretty much every rider is opting for dual suspension, same as Mitch. They want a little bit of traction for these flat turns, and you can see there's a lot of gravel on the course. But Mitch Ropalato, he is going to be a serious man to beat on this course today.
I mean, this is the definition of some of my favorite heats. 2 incredibly fun riders to watch right there. Mitch across the finish line first. Michaela, let's hear from them.
All right, so tell us a little bit about what's been going on this week for you.
Just been having fun, riding my bike, racing A-line, did Garbo. Now we're doing this.
And you are currently leading the King of Crankworx by
a singular point.
Yes, that's what I hear.
So what are you going to do today? That's my question.
I'm just going to ride good and see how it unfolds. So just give it my best.
Perfect. Well, we enjoy watching you go through the next rounds, hopefully.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully.
And Billy, what's going on, man? Last I heard, you were riding a bike with one brake, but now I see you have two. You've switched things up. How are you feeling on the bike now?
I'm good. The bike's a million times better. Having one brake's a bit of a struggle up there. But yeah, big shout out to Mikey for hooking it up.
Sweet. And you say it's a bit of a struggle out there with one brake. Is that because the track's steeper, rougher? Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, steeper. So as you're coming into the steeper sections, you got to kill your speed way before it because one brake's not enough to slow you down.
Would you say that's like the make or break moment on the track is those upper corners?
I'd say so. You can't be braking too early.
Well, perfect. It sounds like you've got it all dialed in, and you're going to give Mitch a little bit of a run for his money, I think.
Yeah, hopefully.
Thanks, Michaela. A little over a half a second separating those two riders in their first run in that bracket. Of course, we're going to send them back up to switch sides. But now it's all about this next heat in the gate. It looks like we got Thomas Slavic on the right side of your screen. And I mean, the developing story here is kind of hilarious. Trevor Boldy didn't have enough money to sign up. He borrowed a number plate from a good friend, Ryan Howard, but he ended up doing so well. Here he's going up against Thomas Slavic.
So Thomas Slavic snap out the gate. We know how fast he is from his four-cross background, but look at Trevor. He's keeping him honest in these flat turns.
Look at that.
So he's got the lead here. And this is where the black lane will start catching up a little bit of speed. The veteran, Thomas Slavic, got some ground to make up here in this final straight. Look at these two riders.
Oh, Thomas Slavic through the line, 0.39 ahead of Trevor Boldy. I mean, Thomas Slavic, a former king of Crankworx, a former world champion in four-cross. I mean, this is a guy who you expect to see in these rounds here against the best in the world. But Trevor Boldy has done pretty well for himself, making it into this round and staying within 0.39 of Thomas Slavic.
So you can see Slavic there. He's opting to brake and try to stay as inside as he can on all the turns, stay out of that loose, gravelly condition.
So the Cinderella story here for Trevor Boldy. He's going to have to make that up once they switch sides, a 0.39 differential. But big ups to Ryan Howard for handing over his number plate going, man, you got what it takes to qualify for this event. I mean, to make it into this broadcasted round right here, Trevor Boldy had to eliminate somebody. Let's take a look at who he eliminated. Kieran McKinnon. So impressive there. We'll look forward to seeing how that story develops. But now it's all about two of the most stylish riders in the game. Left side of your screen there, Cody Kelly from the United States. Bas van Steenbergen rocking the Fox Zebra pants. Two riders who, if you don't already, you should follow on Instagram because what they do on bikes, it's very visually pleasing. Let's savor this run here, Andrew.
Your number 2 qualify against your number 15. Bas going up against Cody Kelly. Bas looking very composed to those flat turns.
Go, Cody. Get it.
So as Cam spoke about, two of the most stylish riders to ever throw a leg over a bike here. Wow, look at Bas. He is flying down to the finish.
Cody Kelly behind by 0.49. It almost looked like he may have missed a gate 2 in that final straightaway. When we talk about style, we're not talking about the fact that he's got zebra pants and Cody's got long hair. Just the way these guys look on their bikes in slow motion. We're getting a glimpse right now. But I do want to take a look at that final straightaway and make sure that Cody Kelly made it around that gate.
And that's what it's going to take. Have a look here. The triple top pumping. Cody Kelly going for the manual there.
Oh, yeah. He's clean. I saw him do the bunny hop. Usually that's something you see a rider doing when they're trying to jump over the gate to avoid hitting it, but he was around clean line. So the advantage going to Bas van Steenbergen. Once again, bracketed race format, head-to-head. We get them back up to the top to re-rack and go again. But those names illuminated in yellow, it means they have the advantage. They won run number 1. So they got a little bit of a buffer going into run number 2. Guys like Austin Warren ahead of Fabian Cusini all the way down to the run you just saw. Bas van Steenbergen edging out Cody Kelly. This is the round of 16 in the 100% dual slalom. We're sending them back up to the top. Let them to rip it again. Don't go away.
Can I have a napkin, please?
For the Crankworx Dual Slalom World Championship have done their job. They lit their names up in yellow, meaning they have the advantage from run 1 going into run 2 of this round of 16. And take a look at those championship standings right now, get an idea of what I'm talking about. Guys like Keegan Wright, Matt Sterling, Bas van Steenbergen, they've all lit their names up in yellow. Mitch Ropolato, Billy Meeklum, Austin Warren, Adrian Larone. Luca Cometti out earlier on in the rounds, wishing that he was able to collect more points. But now we're gonna pick up where we left off. Actually pick up the way we started things here. If you remember before, Austin Warren was on the left side of your screen. They switched now. Fabian Cusini has exactly 1/10 of a second to make up. Let's find out if he can do it.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Your number 1 qualifier, Austin Warren. Looking to take down the Frenchman, Fabian Cusini. Clean through those flat turns. Fabian losing a little bit of time there.
Those flat turns look way slower for the white lane.
They are challenging it. You cannot override those turns. You've got to be patient up top, and then you've got to start pushing down the bottom here. Just like Austin Warren, that is a flawless run by the number 1 qualifier.
Yep, Austin Bubba Warren doing exactly what he needs to do. All he had to do was defend 1/10 of a second, but he put an extra 1.37 on Couscous. Austin Warren will be moving on to the round of 8. No big surprises there. Your number 1 qualifier today.
Yeah, so you can see Fabian struggling a little bit late to the second turn there on the flat turns. Wow, look at the commitment from Austin.
Yeah, with the advantage too. Being that aggressive in your second run when you are in yellow. this shows he really wants that win out there today. When you qualify first, it had so much more pressure, doesn't it?
It does. You expect nothing but a win from yourself. Well, Austin Warren, one of the most experienced slalom riders these days, because he's a guy that rides these type of tracks the most. Down with Kyle Strait, down in San Diego. We know how much time he spends on this bike, and that really does pay off.
Yeah, if you're wondering where Kyle Strait is, he broke a chain earlier on in the rounds today before we started the broadcast, so unfortunately, he's not duking it out with these guys. Of course, he won the event just a year ago, so it's a shame to not have him out there in the finals. But Austin Warren moving into the next round. Now, it's all about Keegan Wright, the current leader in the Dual Slalom World Championship here on the Crankworx World Tour. Your 9th place qualifier in today's event. He put a .73 on Yoon Deneau.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Jeez, the acceleration out of Keegan Wright.
So opting to drop a foot there, Keegan Wright at #1 on the board. He is our series leader. So Cam, he can't afford to make any mistakes here. He needs to make it through as many rounds as possible, and he almost needs some mistakes from that chasing pack. So he's got a little bit of time to play with here, and you can see him check up. He knows it. He's going to conserve some energy.
So Keegan Wright making smart decisions out there, riding fast, but not over his head. And let's take this opportunity to throw it down to Michaela Gatto.
We're going to check in down here in the finish corral with Keegan Wright.
All right, Keegan, so you are currently leading the Dual Slalom World Championship. What I want to know is, what is your biggest secret to winning Dual Slalom?
Beat the other guy. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a typical Keegan answer. Come on. Is it the gates? Is it pedaling out of the turns, braking?
I think the biggest thing on this course is going to be those top gates up there. So I think if you can get them good and carry speed into the fast section, you'll have a pretty good battle. But yeah, it's just going to come down to who has the best lines in those gates, I think.
Who goes the fastest, like you said?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Thanks, Michaela. I mean, that reminds me of that quote we love so much from Mitch Ropalato. If you're thinking you're losing, you know, he's like, let's not overthink this. What is my strategy? Beat the other guy.
Go as fast as you can through every heat. You cannot think ahead.
Be where you are. All right, Matt Sterling, the youngster who took the gold in Innsbruck, and we were all so impressed. Obviously, he's defending that right now, showing that it was no fluke. He says heavy hitters, these are the heavy hitters that Matt beat. So, you know, sometimes in bracketed racing, you can get lucky with where people end up landing in the qualifying, but he beat all those heavy hitters to take that win. Just proves he's got what it takes. He's pretty close to knocking out Elliot Jackson here, but he's got to keep it on 2 wheels.
So Matthew Sterling, a name we now know because of the Crankworx World Tour, launched so many people's career. What is it going to do for this man? But look at that. He took out Bas van Steenbergen, Keegan Wright, and Mitch Ropalato all in one race. So back to the present, though. Elliot Jackson with the advantage here. Matthew Sterling, he knows he's got a little bit of time to play with.
Well, it's .19, so I feel like Matt cut it so close, but he will advance. He definitely didn't leave much breathing room right there. So Elliot Jackson hitting the showers. Matt Sterling moving on to the round of 8. And next up in the gate, looks like we got Elliot Heap on the left side of your screen. Going up against Kendall McLean. Now that was the run where we saw McLean miss that gate. That's why he's got that max differential of 1.5 seconds.
So that is a tough thing to make up. What you got to do is you got to get out fast. You got to try force a mistake from your competitor. Kendall, though, riding super solid here, though, Cam.
Now McLean leads to claw back.
So we all know Elliot, but he's got 1.5 to make up. This is just not going to be enough. Tall order for him.
So Elliot Heap doing what he needs to do to move into that round of 8 right there. That was a tough order there for McLean, considering that missed gate in his first run. Heat moving on. So Adrian Lerone, you saw him in run number 1 against Mick Hanna. We mentioned the fact that he was the king of Crankworx in 2017. We explained to you what that means, how hard it is, why it's such a coveted crown. And currently, this is what the standings look like. Mitch Lopolato at the top, but not by much. Just 1 point ahead of the man we're talking about right now, who's loaded up in the gate against Mick Hanna, Adrian Lerone. If he wants to keep that dream alive, he's going to have to get through this round, make it into the round of 8 where he can pick up some of those valuable points. But he's back by .29 behind the legend, Mick Hanna.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
And to add to that story, if he makes it through here, he will be up against Mitch if Mitch makes it through his round. But he can't think ahead, because look who he's up against. The legendary Mick Hanna. Mick Hanna with the advantage from the first round.
Oh, Mick Hanna is going to make it very hard for Adrian Lerone to get any of those points out here today. Look at Mick go.
Mick Hanna on a mission here, Mick Hanna. So he will advance. Qualifying in 3rd. You can see he means business here today.
We might see Mick Hanna on the podium if he keeps this up. He's looking so sharp on his bike. Just little subtleties like manualing through all those rollers, holding the manual through the finish line, and look at him in the flat turns. Feet up, eyes up.
Yeah, you can see great technique. Able to look where he wants to go. The bike is following. He made up all his time in those flat turns there, Cap.
I mean, get up. He's Mick Hanna.
Absolute beast on a bike. No surprise here. He knocks out Adrian Lerone, so that's going to hurt Adrian's points race for the king.
I think that little motion that he did there with his arm is what the points are doing to him for him right now. They're just leaving him. They're flying away. Now we keep talking about all these points and we keep referencing these crowns, the king, the queen crown. How do the points work, Andrew?
Well, we've got multiple events, but let's look at it. If you get first, you get 100 points. Then you start decreasing points all the way to 10th. But a lot of these events dish out more points than 10, so you don't want to throw away a result. You can still amass a few points as you go along.
We see it in dual slalom, you get 100 points for a win. In slopestyle, you get 100 points for a win. Now, in some of these disciplines, the points are awarded further down the finish order, but 100 points is always what you earn for a win in any of these disciplines. But the man who has his sights set on another 100 points is that man right there on the left side of your screen, Mitch Lopolato, 1 point ahead of second place Adrian Lerone, who just got eliminated. So the cards, the stars are aligning right now for Mitch Lopolato, but he's got to get past Billy Meeklum from New Zealand.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
So neck and neck into these flat turns. A little bit late there for Mitch. But he's back on pace here. Wow, this is exciting racing. Mitch Lopolato already got to win this Crankworx stop. Can he get another one?
Well, Mitch just looks perfect today. Are you kidding me? All right, Mitch through the line. It doesn't even matter by how much because he had the advantage going into this run right there. Mitch Lopolato, 1 step closer to another 100 valuable points there. Mitch moving into the round of 8, meaning these brackets, well, we might as well take a look at them, see where we stand right now. There we have it. Mitch will be going up against Mick Hanna. That will be a doozy. Bubba, first place qualifier, going up against Keegan Wright, the leader in the World Championship.
Look at these brackets. They could easily be finals. Austin Warren, Keegan Wright, Mick Hanna, Mitch Lopolato. Those could easily be gold medal matchups. And we still got a lot of racing ahead, and it's been exciting already.
So we'll bring it back to this interesting story here. Trevor Boldy back by .39 behind Thomas Slavic. He started today's racing by borrowing a number plate because he didn't have the money to sign up. He qualified, made it out of a round. Now he's up against a former king of Crankworx, but he's got some ground to make up.
.39 to be exact. Thomas Slavik, no slouch on a bike, former four-cross world champion. What can Brody do here, though? There's that triple we spoke about. So Thomas Slavik is all attack mode. He said maybe 1 or 2 people will do that triple. Wow. The Thomas Slavik doing just what he needs to do to advance. So will that be a weapon that he uses in the later rounds?
Well, look at that. Slavik celebrating that win. He definitely was not taking the young gun, the up-and-comer Trevor Boldy, lightly. He was charging to make sure that Boldy didn't sweep the rug out from under him. So Slavik into the round of 8, but now this run that we enjoyed so much when they took to the course earlier on. Bas van Steenbergen on the left side of your screen this time, going up against Cody Kelly. Those flying blonde locks out of the back of his helmet. Cody's got about a half second to make up behind Bas.
You look just like him. He called me Kelly Kelly after he said Bas beat me. He's like, oh, Kelly Kelly with the deficit.
That's what we'll start calling him, Kelly Kelly. What about you? Do you trust people with 2 first names?
I definitely don't. But what I do trust is these 2 gentlemen's skill and style on a bike, waiting anxiously for the skate to drop. I remember that's just some of the worst moments of your life. You just want to get this race going. Now you got to make small talk with your competitor sitting next to you.
Or you just don't. You mean mug them.
Mean mug him. What about the first round in row 2? We had Barry Nobles tore his sleeves off to try get in Kyle Straight's head.
Yeah, and that's funny too, because Kyle is always playing games like that where, you know, he has the rule. We saw it in Innsbruck where you never hug your competitor. And then Martin, I think it was, comes up and tries to hug him, and Kyle's like, no, do not hug me. Maybe later, not now. We're racing.
Definitely not on live TV.
Oh, it's so good. All right, back to racing here. Cody Kelly on the right side of your screen. Bas van Steenbergen on the left. Bas ahead by half a second. Here they go.
Now, make no mistake, we've been speaking about style all day with these 2 riders, but they've got speed to boot. So both committed through that left-hander. Bas van Steenbergen with the advantage here. So he knows he's just got to keep a wheel ahead here. And that's the advantage out of that right turn. It's a little bit faster down the last straight.
Whew. There we go. Bas van Steenbergen through the line ahead of Cody Kelly. Cody Kelly, unfortunately, out of the race now as Bas van Steenbergen earns that berth into the round of 8. Well, let's digest this round of 16 here. Our round of 8 is set. What stands out for you when you stare at those brackets?
Well, Austin Warren's going to go up against Keegan Wright, our number 1 qualifier. That's a danger matchup there. Matthew Sterling, who won in Innsbruck. He's got a little bit of work cut out against Elliot Heap. Let's quickly go to Mick Hanna, Mitch Ropolato, Thomas Slavik against Bas van Steenbergen. All of those could be a final, Cam.
Well, there we have it. The round of 8 is set for the 100% dual slalom. We'll be getting that round up shortly. So make sure you don't turn the channel or go to a different website. You'd be crazy if you did that. Columbia. The final stop of the 2019 Crankworx World Tour. Broadcast day #1 right now, and it's all about 100% dual slalom. And now, if you're a complete total newbie to mountain biking, you're wondering where Whistler, British Columbia is, well, your first clue is that it's in Canada. As we zero in from our satellite, the one that Andrew Needling owns personally. He keeps it in space so he can get good views of all of our stops here on the Crankworx World Tour. I would like to continue zooming in. We've established that it's in Canada. All right, I'll spill the beans. British Columbia, that's where we are, on the western side of Canada. It's beautiful here. If you've never come, you should.
Just up the road from Vancouver, one of the nicest cities in the world. Let's look at what we've got coming up next.
It's the round of 8, Andrew. Look at this.
Mr. Austin Warren, your #1 qualifier, against your series leader, Keegan Wright. So this is huge for the series. And this is only the round of 8. This is Heat 1.
All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's get into this. Austin Warren on the left side of your screen. Keegan Wright on the right side of your screen, and they are off.
So Austin Warren, qualified #1. Keegan Wright, kind of a little bit lackluster, down in 9th position. But a lot of riders get faster as the day goes by. Can Keegan Wright find some extra pace here against Austin Warren? Austin Warren out front. He looks flawless. How fast is he going, Cam?
Jeez! Austin Warren through the line. 0.59 ahead of Keegan Wright. Now this kid has been practicing. You gotta imagine days spent at Straight Acres, Kyle Straight's personal property and training facility. Those days are paying off right now for your first place qualifier, Austin Warren, as he's one run away from eliminating the series champion at the moment, Keegan Wright.
The commitment is unreal by both these riders in that left turn. But as you said, Austin Warren, he's got a lot of time on his slalom bike. He's got a lot of time on these kind of courses. Keegan Wright, he's focusing on EWS. So he just hops on the bike here when he gets to some of these rounds.
All right, more stories developing here. Matt Sterling, the youngster who took the gold in Innsbruck, going up against Elliot Heath.
So Matthew Sterling, how will the expectations that he's placed on his own shoulders, as well as us here in the booth, all the fans, they now know his name. Round 2 winner, Matthew Sterling, comes up against Elliot Heath here. So look at Sterling go. Committed and fast down the bottom through those ruts. All these riders displaying uncanny skill on the bike here.
Matt Sterling, 0.56 ahead of Elliot Heap. Now, Elliot Heap didn't score, again, like he did in run #1, where his opponent missed a gate. Matt Sterling absolutely on point out here today. So Michaela is keeping her ear to the ground down there at course side. Let's check in with her.
Okay, so although Keegan Wright is the current leader for the Dual Slalom World Championships, we've got Van Steenbergen, Sterling, and Ropalato, who have all advanced to the next round, and they actually all have a chance of knocking Keegan off that top spot.
Well, that's exactly what we want to hear. We want entertainment value. Thanks for the update and the math, Michaela Gatto. Right now, it's all about Mick Hanna, left side of your screen, against Mitch Ropalato. I'd pay money to watch this heat.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Mitch Ropalato with a bike ahead already. This is crucial for both riders to get through clean, and we have it. We've got a race on our hands here, Cam. This is only Heat 1. We've still got to throw them back to the top and switch.
Wow,
it's all about taking that advantage into the next heat. Mitch Ropalato on the black lane. He's going to do it, folks.
I mean, we haven't seen that very often today, the black lane taking run #1 there. But Mitch Ropalato has done it against Mick Hanna nonetheless. 0.26, I believe, was that differential. So Mick Hanna still in the running, but he's going to have to, I mean, I feel like that posture there from Mitch Ropalato, he's been doing some work in the gym. He's got somebody who's been coaching him on how to stand. Although looking slightly uncomfortable, that is the definition of perfect posture.
I love these slow-mo. Look at the commitment out of these berms, just straight on the pedals. Look, some riders get up to speed very quickly, and you see it. Austin Warren, he qualified fastest. Someone like Mitch, he was third. I mean, Mick Hanna was third, but Mitch was only down in sixth. But then when you watch someone like Mitch ride now, he seems like a rider that maybe takes a little bit more time, or he didn't do that much practice. So looks like he's getting faster as these rounds progress, and as the pressure and as the importance of the round gets, he can get it into another gear.
I feel like your word for that is a danger man, right?
He's an absolute danger man. Not an unknown. We all know how fast he is in slalom, but he's the danger man because he gets faster as the rounds progress.
Basically, the number alongside his name on the quality list doesn't reflect his capabilities and his potential for the final results. He keeps on getting faster. Look out. All right, Thomas Slavic, left side of your screen. Bas van Steenbergen, can't miss him in that zebra blue fox gear. Here we go.
So Thomas Slavic, you can see that back wheel stepping out a little bit. He's aggressive on the brakes there. Both riders clean so far. This is where you've got to keep a level head. Even if the rider's a little bit ahead of you, you've got to trust that the course might be a little bit faster in that area. And look at it, Bas pulling back some time.
Wow,
whoa!
Thomas Slavic!
Wow.
Oh,
Let's hope no one's hurt.
You're supposed to brake late into the corners, not into the finish corral.
That's commitment. If you wanted to get a close-up look at one of the famous riders here, you've got just that. Look at the kids. They love it.
A little bit more than they bargained for when they decided to set up right on the fence there. Thomas Slavic, only 0.05 of a second separating these two riders, Andrew. Now, let's kind of break that run down right there. Bas van Steenbergen showing so much composure. Let's take a look back at the replay. Oh.
Almost using the pedals to keep the traction there.
At this point, Slavic is ahead, and Bas knows you can't help but not see out of the corner of your eye.
No, and this is what it's impressive. He didn't let it get to him. He just rode his own race. He knew Slavic was ahead, and even on the fast lane there, but look at it.
Bas exited early out of that, didn't he?
And this is where he had so much exit speed. He managed to draw back some time here on the final straight.
I feel like it was all about his line out of that right-hander leading into that final straightaway. He squared it off and just kind of put all of his momentum in a straight line through those final few gates.
So that's gonna be great. We're gonna throw them up and change tracks, and then they're gonna go bar to bar again.
So Austin Warren with the advantage going up against your current series leader right now, Keegan Wright. Matt Sterling with the advantage over Elliott Heap. Mitch Ropalato, advantage over Mick Hanna, and Bas van Steenbergen. You just saw him put 0.05 of a second ahead of Thomas Slavic right there. So the action heating up with a World Championship title on the line for these riders in the 100% dual slalom. Don't go away. Back in Whistler, BC right now. You're right in the middle of 100% dual slalom action. We whittled our men's field down to 8. And now it's time to focus our attention into the women's category, where we have a lot of very entertaining stories developing. One concerning this woman right here, Via Verbeek. 2 wins to her name so far this season, aka undefeated in dual slalom racing here on the 2019 season. And then Keilani Hines. Now these 2 racers will be going up against each other in the first round. So I'm talking about Via Verbeek, 2 slalom wins this year. Keilani Hines, 2 pump track wins this year. But guess who else is in the competition here in Whistler today? Oh yeah, that's Jill Kittner back on tour. She was absent from the first 2 stops right now, focusing her racing endeavors in other areas. But she absolutely can be the spoiler out here today, considering she has 7 dual slalom wins to her name on the Crankworx history books. So a lot up for grabs out there right now, one of which is that Queen of Crankworx crown, Via Verbeek. She's been collecting so much hardware all season, so many points. She's leading the charge right now with 536 points, almost 100 points ahead of the closest contender here. But it's time to get to racing. Who do we have in the gate, Andrew Needling?
Well, number 1 seed, Claire Hamilton, a little bit of a surprise, considering we haven't seen her that far up the qualification. She's going against Chloe Taylor, who's in 9th.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
So these ladies are off. Both clean. Here we go.
So Claire Hamilton, your number 1 qualifier out here today. Chloe Taylor qualified in 9th.
So we do think that these courses are not quite evenly matched, so it's tough to say. But Claire Hamilton was your number 1 qualifier. She will take the advantage, 0.55 over Chloe. So we'll send them back up to the top. They will switch lanes. So if you haven't tuned into dual slalom before, one of the oldest formats of mountain bike racing. It's pure, it's awesome, it's head-to-head racing. And there you see Claire Hamilton, she will take the advantage. But up next, look at those brackets. Via Verbeek, Keilani Hines, that could easily be a final. But one of those ladies is going home early. And then Jill Kittner, who has not been at the series this year yet, but she is one of the most dominant forces in female racing.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
A great snap there for both. I'd say Via with a slight advantage coming out of that gate.
So Via qualifying in 5th, Keilani in 4th. So these ladies on paper are very evenly matched. What will they be able to do when you put them neck and neck and against each other here?
And one of these racers could be the world champion here. Keilani is in 3rd in the overall. Via, of course, in 1st.
So Via taking advantage to the next heat.
That advantage almost a second there, 0.93. So Via Verbeek doing what she needs to do. Keilani with her work cut out for her.
So you can see she's happy. She knows she needs Queen of Crankworx points, as well as she needs a solid finish here to take that title.
Uh-oh, look who that is on the left side of your screen. Jill Kittner. Hannah Bergman's going, oh, great. You chose Whistler to come back, and now I'm in the gate next to you.
I mean, Jill, we might as well call her Jill Slalom Kittner. She's got so many wins. We've actually lost count. It could even be 8. There's that many. So Jill Kittner, she's been focusing all her efforts on EWS. I'm not sure how much time she's actually spent on that bike. Took a commanding win in ADH, but Jill Kittner back on the slalom scene here in Whistler, and she'll take that advantage to the next round.
There you go, Jill. This is where you belong. Why don't you just stick around? Let's see you on the entire 2020 World Tour. Let's do it. Jill Kittner putting 1.03 on Hannah Bergman. Jill Kittner just looking to mix things up. Just make this whole Dual Slalom World Championship title hunt a little bit more interesting. Slow-mo there. You see Jill Kittner leading the entire race here in her round of 8, heat number 1. Now take a look. Got the dual speed and style course running around the slalom. That'll be exciting. That is in 2 nights. Friday, you're not going to want to miss that. Of course, tomorrow night, it's all about pump track. But right now, it's all about Annika Bearden. She was the queen of Crankworx just 4 years ago. Let's see who she's going up against in run number 8 here. Morgan Schar. Wow, a couple former world champs in the gate against each other.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Former 4-cross world champion up against Morgan Schar, a former downhill world champion. Annika Bearden qualified in 2nd. She's looking good in the points race as well. So she'll be looking to advance and get at least to the finals, put some pressure on Via Verbeek. Morgan Schar, one of the few riders in this female category that opts for flat pedals. That'll be nice up top in those flat turns.
Annika Bearden through the line first by 0.4 of a second ahead of Morgan Schar.
So Annika Bearden, freshly custom-painted helmet. She's looking flashy here in Whistler. It's the final stop of our Crankworx World Tour. Can you even believe that, Cam? The season is almost finished.
And this is where we are right now in the round of 8 here. Look at those names illuminated in yellow. Some big names.
So Claire Hamilton, she'll take the advantage. Via Verbeek looking to cement her name at the top of this series. Jill Kittner, though, she might have something to say about that.
She usually does. All right, so that means we're going to roll things over to the men's race now. Of course, this is the second run in the round of 8. Those names in yellow have the advantage. One heat that we are really excited to see that we have, again, loaded up in the gate is Austin Warren up against Keegan Wright. The reason why that's interesting, Austin Warren, your #1 qualifier today, looking very much on point. And Keegan Wright, the leader of the Crankworx Dual Slalom World Championship Series, wants to be the winner at the end of today, but he's going to have to get by Austin Warren.
So Keegan Wright, he's got to put it all on the line here. Well, Austin Warren, they had that gate malfunction in his first round, so you can see he's not happy. He wants to test the gate first. As if racing isn't nerve-wracking enough, they put you against another rider. And if that isn't nerve-wracking enough, they've got some tense gate malfunctions here.
I always like to picture what the guy looks like. You know, every BMX track around the world has that same guy. Okay, riders, let's set him up. I want to know this guy.
You feel like you deserve to meet him after all these years?
I would love to meet him.
Do you think he gets a royalty, Cam?
He better. He's doing a great job. All right, they're off.
And he's done a great job dropping the gate. So Keegan Wright, his title hopes are on the line here. Austin Warren, your #1 seed, been riding flawlessly all evening.
Watch the gate. Look at Bubba go. I mean, we don't want to jinx the man, but he's been looking flawless today. Oh, wow.
Big mistake and big crash from Keegan Wright. He knew he had to lay it all on the line.
Jeez.
We hope he's okay. He lost the back over that roller, the back end of his bike over that roller. He looks okay.
I mean,
that's what pressure will do to you.
Tough kid right there. Popping up. He hit the ground hard. That was like a mousetrap type of crash. I mean, we're getting some replays right now. I have to say, we're going to see this replay of the crash again here. It loses the back end, goes 90, mousetraps over, hits his head on the ground. I mean, I can't believe he popped up so quick after that.
He's popped up quick, but I'm not sure he's going to be all there. Look how hard he hits the back of his head.
That's why these guys got fantastic helmets out here. They're riding at speed. I mean,
so that's going to be interesting. Keegan Wright is out.
It goes to show how hard he was pushing because he was scrubbing over that roller, and he's just going faster than he had been all the rest of the day. And that's what happens when The pressure's on here, and there's a lot at stake. Elliott Heap with the advantage to make up now behind Matt Sterling. The young gun rocketing himself onto the world stage at stop number 2 this year, Innsbruck, Austria.
So if Sterling wants anything to say about this title hunt, he's got to get through this round. Matthew Sterling, a winner back at Innsbruck, up against Elliott Heat here. Matthew with the advantage, so he's just got to keep a wheel ahead here.
Matt Sterling on the outside there. Elliott Heath looking to make
Wow,
up.
I mean, they're pushing so hard over that roller now.
So this is exactly what Matthew Sterling rode, a flawless race. We spoke about that expectations that he might have been putting on himself. It doesn't seem to affect him yet. We'll see if it does anything in the later rounds. Wow, riding beyond his years here against some of the most elite riders in the world.
So when we start crunching numbers here, we realize that the maximum amount of points that Keegan Wright will finish with today would be 186, meaning that that opens up the doors for a lot of the other riders like Matt Sterling, Mitch Ropalato, who's in the gate right now, to capitalize on that mistake from Keegan Wright. Now Mitch Ropalato, a quarter of a second ahead of Mick Hanna. The gate is about to drop. This is going to be a good one.
So as much as we speak of Mick Hanna as being a veteran legend of the sport, Mitch Ropalato has been around for many years at Crankworx events. He's won some prestigious slalom rounds. So Mitch Ropalato, man on a mission here. I think that white course will be a little bit quicker, so we'll see when they flip them by.
Well, there we have it. Mitch Ropalato had the advantage rolling into that round. He crossed the finish line first, therefore it's a no-brainer. Mitch Ropalato moves into the round of 4, and now Keegan Wright gets his calculator out. Mitch Ropalato, in the last couple days, he's put himself at the top of the King of Crankworx leaderboard. Will he win a Dual Slalom World Championship here? He's doing everything within his power to do so.
Mitch wins this thing. He'll have 196 points, and that will put him to the top of the Dual Slalom Championship. No pressure, right?
Oh, wow. Well, thanks for the quick calculations there, Michaela. Mitch Ropalato, he's the guy that we always want to see at every Crankworx stop. Unfortunately, in the last few years, he hasn't come to every single one. We've always been saying, you know what, he could totally win King of Crankworx. And he's doing what he needs to do right now. Of course, if he wins the Dual Slalom World Championship, it's going to be 100 more points next to his name for that King of Crankworx overall. More on that later. Right now, it's all about Thomas Slavik against Bas van Steenbergen. A tight matchup here. Only 0.05 of a second separating these guys. Slavik has that disadvantage to make up here.
The Bas van Steenbergen, he's another danger man, because if he can go on to win or get second here, he would be a man for that series title as well. But let's not think too far ahead. Look how fast these riders go. Thomas Slavik trying to keep Bas honest here.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Wow, Slavik. That is huge for the points race. Bas van Steenbergen had a shot at the title. He is out. He will not have a chance to challenge.
Here, second run of round number 8. You are pushing so hard, and you can only savor that in slow motion. Like, out of some of these corners, the dirt is just disintegrating out of these berms because there's so many G-forces coming into him. Check this out. Watch Bas over this scrubber. So much speed. He's trying to keep his wheels to the ground. Pretty much lands in the next gate.
Thomas Slavik was carrying huge pace down the last straight.
I mean, he made up like 0.15 of a second in that final straightaway. He only needed 0.05 of a second. He put 25 on. Very impressive ride out of Thomas Slavik to eliminate Bas van Steenbergen. So with that, Here's what the round of 4 looks like. We call that the semifinals. Take a look.
Well, Austin Warren against Matthew Sterling, last round's winner. But Mitch Ropalato and Thomas Slavic, they're those riders we spoke about. They're getting faster as the rounds progress. They only qualified in 6th and 10th place respectively. So they've found their race speed.
Okay, you've sold me. I am not going away. I will not change the channel, or more appropriately now, what is it? Just go to a different website or a streaming service or something? Nobody's touching the dial anymore with this. And now it's time to check back in on our women's World Championship racing here with that title on the line. Claire Hamilton ahead of Chloe Taylor via Verbeek, ahead of Keilani Hines. That's a big heat coming up after this one. But Claire Hamilton, the winner from run number 1 by 0.55 ahead of Chloe Taylor. Chloe Taylor, love that name. A little bit of work to do here.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
So solid starts from both these ladies. Now the flat turns to navigate. This is where it can all go wrong. Number 1 seed, Claire Hamilton. This is the best she's qualified in a slalom event. How far can she go? So she's looking over there. She knows she's got a little bit of advantage. She can just keep even. She knows she'll be advancing. She'll save those legs. She's got a few more rounds ahead of her.
Well, Claire Hamilton crossing the finish line first ahead of Chloe Taylor by 0.87. That means she advances. Claire Hamilton, your number 1 qualifier out here. When you qualify first, you're always hoping to find yourself in that gold medal round. Claire Hamilton getting 1 step closer now. But I'm going to introduce you to your new favorite rider right now via Verbeek. Take a look. This is why, Andrew Needling.
Well, at the age of 28, look at her 2019 season. She's first in dual slalom Rotorua, first in Air DH, and first in dual slalom in Innsbruck. That deserves an emoji, I think, the way she's riding a cam.
Oh, yeah, just a whole bucket of emojis. Love emojis. Via Verbeek, ahead of Keilani Hines by 0.93 right now. Just under a second separating these two racers. What will it be?
That's a big deficit for Keilani to make up. 2 wins at the pump tracks, but Via Verbeek has been so solid in dual slalom. She's won our first 2 rounds. She's undefeated this season. Via Verbeek, our current leader of our Queen of Crankworx. What can Keilani do? Can she upset Via Verbeek? Not going to be enough. Via Verbeek is just too solid. She knows it. Look how excited she is already.
So Via Verbeek advancing right now, knocking Keilani Hines out. Well, good friend of Via Verbeek is our own Michaela Gatto. Let's hear from her there, Michaela.
All right, so I know you've raced Keilani before. She's taken the titles before. How nervous were you in the start gate?
I like that I had a second to buff with, but she's always a really tough competitor, and I still feel like I'm lacking experience, but I'm just going for it.
Well, you did it. That's amazing. Has the course changed a lot since, you know, practice, a whole bunch of boys went, and then you guys had to go again? Is there anything you have to adjust?
Constantly, like, it was way drier, we were adjusted to that, and they watered the track, we were adjusting to that, and now it's drying again. Constantly looking ahead.
Well, I think it's safe to say you are well adjusted and going into the next round. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Michaela. Via Verbeek advancing out of that round. Big smile on her face. What a season it has been for that woman. Killing it on the World Tour. But guess what? The day is far from over. Guess who's on a collision course with Via Verbeek? Oh, yeah. None other than Jill Kintner. Now, Jill Kintner, yeah, maybe you didn't see her on the earlier stops this season, but yeah, it turns out, don't call it a comeback. She's been here for years. There, Jill, in 2013, taking away that win. I mean, if we were to go through all the highlights, all the wins, we'd be here all day. So we'll just show you that one to keep it quick and simple. Get the point. She could win this here today and take that smile off of Via Verbeek's face very quickly.
But just know she's the most dominant female athlete here at Crankworx and slalom as well. She's got more wins than almost the amount of events we've had here.
Yeah.
Jill Kittner out the gate. Former Olympic medalist as well in BMX. So you give her a bike, doesn't matter what size the wheels are, Jill Kittner will adapt and she will excel.
So Jill Kittner focusing a little bit more on enduro this year, but great to have her back. Well, she has the advantage right now. It was a second from run number 1. She will add to that and smoothly sail into the next round. Jill Kittner.
So that'll be very...
You know, riding in the mountains.
We missed you.
Yeah, it's good to be back. It's fun.
hopes of that Queen title alive. She is a former Queen of Crankworx winner back in 2015. Took a little bit of a hiatus from the Crankworx World Tour, focusing a little bit on EWS. And here she's back. Morgan Shaw, though, got the wheel ahead on those flat pedals, so she will excel at the top of this course. And this is where Annika can maybe draw some time back.
Whoa!
Whoa, mistake from Annika Bierten.
Wow! Look at this!
That is not going to be enough ahead, and we are going to
Morgan Shaw advances into the final, knocking out Annika Bierten. Now that's a big story because Bierten was sitting second in the overall standings.
That is disappointing for the slalom series for Annika Bierten, but as well as the Queen of Crankworx. So Via Veerbeek can breathe a sigh of relief there for the Queen title. So look at these semi-finals. Claire Hamilton, your #1 seed, against your series leader, Via Veerbeek, and then Jill Kittner back for some action here against 2012 downhill world champion Morgan Shaw.
I mean, very interesting scenario right there if we're trying to do math with Annika Bierten getting knocked out right now and Via Veerbeek moving on. Looking at the numbers, we're going to wait for clarification here, but that's looking pretty good for Via Veerbeek's stab at the World Championship overall. But let's check back in with the men's race. A look at our brackets right now. We see that Austin Warren, your #1 qualifier today, will be going up against Matthew Sterling, who won the slalom race in Innsbruck, Austria. Mitch Ropolato going up against a former King of Crankworx, Thomas Slavik. Yeah, good racing ahead.
Yeah, Matthew Sterling, who knows how he reacts? You know, he just doesn't seem to even look at who he's racing against. He goes tunnel vision, he races, he doesn't let a big name standing next to him.
Okay, left side of your screen will give you your bearings here. That's Austin Warren. Right side of your screen, the young gun, Matt Sterling. Now, Austin Warren, your #1 qualifier in today's race.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the game.
Austin Warren, been riding like a man possessed so far. Look at him,
Starts to look
attacking
like
through
Kyle
those
Strait a little
flat
bit.
turns.
Taking on a similar riding style.
But Matthew Sterling, commitment through that turn. He's on rails as well. One in Innsbruck, taking out these heavy hitters. But Austin Warren, I think, is having none of that tonight. Austin Warren, so committed here in the finish.
So Matthew Sterling behind by 0.22, Austin Warren winning that race. If Matt Sterling wants to keep his title hopes alive here, he has to make it out of this round. Austin Warren has a lot of points of his own. And Matt Sterling, a lot on the line for this young racer right now if he wants to take that World Championship title. Very interesting, you know, the top 2 in our World Championship overall. Keegan Wright had that big crash. Matt Sterling now behind.
And the game is long. All the way through those final points. Every bump of the fight.
But Mitch Ropalato hanging out in this round of 4. It's going to be really interesting to see where the numbers fall here in this overall. There we go, Mitch Ropalato, left side of your screen. Thomas Slavic on the right. 2 riders who have earned their way into this semifinal heat.
Okay, riders, random start.
Look at where Mitch is looking. He's got a visual cue out there somewhere.
Hey, what is that?
Uh-oh.
What was that?
Oh, so riders, it's tense up there, guys. It's all to play for here. Mitch Ropalato needs to advance to this to have any shot at this title.
All right, reset that gate. But watch Mitch's eyes. Let's see if Thomas is looking at the same place too. Mitch is picking up some sort of visual cue. Look at him.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the game.
Oh yeah, somebody's hitting a button and he's got his eyes on him, doesn't he? Look at that start.
Well, it didn't work too much because, wow,
Yeah.
look at Slavic.
Oh.
Real tight on that first left-hander.
You're going to need all the help you can get when your gate's starting against Thomas Slavic.
Exactly. I don't mind him using any little cheeky help he can get.
That's racing, man.
Look at these 2 riders getting faster and faster. Mitch scrubbing over that roller. He's got the advantage here coming into the finish.
Yeah, Mitch Ropalato through the line. A quarter of a second faster than Thomas Slavic. Wow. I mean, Slavic got that mean start, and Mitch just fought through the middle and end of that racetrack. Take a look. So much aggression out of both these guys.
Slavic. Barely staying on the right side of that flag. This is commitment. These riders are giving it them all. This is the semi-finals. Heat number 1 for both of them.
Look at this. Slavic just pointing straight at these gates going, oh, don't miss him.
Mitch Ropalato, he's had a long week already.
All right, we're going to see this scrub coming out of this right-hand berm, I think. Oh, no, it's... Yeah. I could watch Mitch Ropalato ride slow motion all day. Here we go.
So let's have a look here. Keeping it low. There you have it. Whoa, even gets knocked a bit his back wheel. Mitch Ropalato has had a long week already. EDH Garbonza managed to take the win. And we all know Whistler. It's often long days, long nights, and it's repeat. So Mitch Ropalato, sometimes maybe giving it all at night and in the day.
I think I get what you're saying.
Trying to be subtle about it, Cam. But we all know it's a fun series, Crankworx.
I mean, we've been coming this many years in a row. It must be fun, right? So Mitch Ropalato putting a .27 on Thomas Slavic. I can't wait to see until they get back up to the top of that course. But moving things along to our women's category here, I think this is going to have to be Claire Hamilton going up against Via Verbeek.
So we're waiting for the final word of the number crunching, but Via Verbeek, if she can get through this round, she might be a safe bet for that world title. But up against Claire, who's the #1 qualifier. So she can't think too far ahead, Cam. She's got to stay in the present here, especially through these tough turns at the top of the slalom track here in Whistler.
I would also say, I mean, yes, she may have locked up that World Championship, but also she wants those 100 points for the Queen overall.
Not to mention the prize check you get. There's money on the line here for each event. So Claire Hamilton.
Look at that. Claire Hamilton crossing the finish line, .18 ahead of Via Verbeek, and that's interesting because Claire Hamilton qualified first out here knowing that she has beat all the other competitors in a timed race, it is not impossible for her to win the race out here before. I mean, Via Verbika's who we're expecting to win. Jill Kittner can swoop it out from under her, but Claire Hamilton could be the spoiler. But now Jill Kittner going up against Morgan Schar.
Well, Morgan Schar spoiling Anneke Beerten's dreams of getting a medal here tonight, as well as kind of stunting her points race here in the Queen of Crankworx. So Morgan Schar, 2012 world champion in downhill, amazing feat. So Cam, let's keep an eye on in these flat turns. She's opt for flat pedals, so she should be able to be a bit more aggressive here.
Yeah, there you have it.
Yeah, dropping a foot. So leading Jill Kittner out there in those turns.
I mean, by a bit. Look at this. Can Jill claw her way back here? Morgan Schar putting down a good run.
Jill Kittner known for delivering under pressure, especially when she's got her back up against it. Lights a fire in her belly.
There we go. Tight margin, but Jill Kittner crossing the finish line by the legal limit. And Morgan Schar will have to make up a .08. All right, Andrew.
So let's look at that. Claire Hamilton, our #1 qualifier. She's illuminated in yellow because she's got the advantage against Via Verbik, then Jill Kittner, but by the slimmest of margins. So we're going to take them back to the top. They're going to change courses. They're going to go at it again.
So a lot of festivities out here all week long, one of which is, of course, a favorite of all of us, the Deep Summer Photo Challenge. Now, photographers have a couple days to collect all the best images they can. Let's take a look at what that's all about through the eyes of one of the photographers in the competition.
Today is August 11th, 2019, the final day of the Deep Summer Photo Challenge. So for my slideshow, I decided to focus on the experiences that I had in Whistler in 2018, which was my first time really on the West Coast. I just kind of wanted to recreate those same experiences, hang out with my friends, have a good time, and hopefully inspire some people. This is the van, and I've been living in it roughly full time since June of last year. The Deep Summer, it's a 72-hour photo challenge that Crankworx puts on in Whistler and Rotorua every year, and they choose 5 photographers and 1 wild card, and they give them 3 days to go and shoot and put together a slideshow with their friends, and it gets displayed in the Olympic Plaza.
We're in Blackcomb, Whistler right now, riding A-Bud. Trail is absolutely unreal, pretty techy, rooty, rocky, typical Canadian feel. Really pumped to be here.
Whistler is so special for me because it was like my first trip really out west. Never really experienced all the rock slabs and just insane terrain out here. Coming from the East Coast, like there aren't trails this gnarly that are just easily accessible.
Oh my gosh, absolute animal.
Vibe in Whistler, ooh. I definitely say the vibe in Whistler is just super positive, like so many good friends around. Everyone's riding, having a good time.
You can go to the park completely alone, and then you meet up with about 5 or 10 buddies, and you're basically not really alone if you're in Whistler.
I think my favorite trail to shoot on, particularly this past 3 days for Deep Summer, has been D1. There are like some nice pockets in the trees, and Garrett was wearing a white t-shirt, and the light fall was just like pretty harsh and nice. So really enjoyed shooting that trail, and it's also my favorite trail in the bike park to ride.
Favorite trail has got to be Dirt Merchant. I've ridden it all day, every single day since I've been here, so hands down Dirt Merchant.
Yeah.
That was real tight.
It is still the beginning of Crankworx. Today is the last day for Deep Summer, but none of the real events have kind of kicked off, so I'll be able to enjoy the sea to sky for the upcoming week, and then I'm back to Vernon for the rest of the fall, but definitely hope to come back either later this fall, and definitely next summer I'll be enjoying some more time throughout Squamish, Pemberton, and Whistler. Looking forward to it.
Well, I can't wait to see the photos coming out of Peter Jameson for the Deep Summer Photo Challenge. Looks like Garrett Meacham following along. And that'll be in a couple nights here. We'll have it at Olympic Plaza It's always a great show. So if you're watching the webcast from here in Whistler, make sure you show up to watch the Deep Summer Photo Challenge. But right now, it's all about dual slalom racing. Men's semifinals, run 2. Austin Warren going up against Matthew Sterling. Now, the huge story here with Matt Sterling. Lay it on me, Andrew.
Well, Matthew Sterling has to advance out of this heat and get to the final if he wants to win this series. Austin Warren, #1 qualifier. I'm not sure what he's going to say about that. Austin Warren has been second here last year, so he wants to go one more, and he wants to get to that final. So a huge matchup here, and it's going to dictate who wins the World Series.
I mean, if Matt Sterling makes it out of this round, he locks it up. He wins the World Championship. So it is all on the line right here in this run.
So Austin Warren, clean through those turns, aggressive as well. Matthew Sterling, a little bit sluggish. Does he know what he needs to do to take this World Series home? A relatively unknown at our last round in Innsbruck. So he's got the lead here. Matthew Sterling.
He's got to do more
but
than
Austin Warren is keeping him honest.
Oh, it is not going to happen for Matt Sterling. Austin Warren crushing the youngsters' hopes of a World Championship here at Crankworx Dual Slalom. Austin Warren making good on the promise that he gave earlier on today by qualifying first. But now, with the championship still very much alive, Mitch Ropalato has the chance to swoop that overall from Keegan Wright, who had issues earlier. Mitch Ropalato, if he wins the entire overall event, wins this event today, he will win the overall. But he has to get through Thomas Slavic in order for that dream to come true. Thomas Slavic right now behind Mitch Ropalato by 0.27. Mitch having to keep it smooth.
So all to play for here in the second of our semi-final matchup. Oh, mistake by Mitch Ropalato. Wow, he hasn't lost as much time as you would think.
Seriously.
The back-stepping out there. Mitch Ropalato, he's got some time to play with here. But Thomas Slavic, I think, will be on the faster lane here coming down the finish. Wow, Mitch Ropalato is a man possessed here tonight with that mistake, and he still managed to beat Thomas Slavic.
Come on, to think, man. He beat Thomas Slavic by 0.27 in run #1 without a mistake. He had a mistake there in this run #2, and he beat Thomas Slavic by more. Take a look at the mistake.
Committed. Just pushing that back wheel into the dirt there, kind of the loose stuff. Oh my goodness.
I don't know if I've seen many, but I would call this a fast mistake.
That is one of the fastest mistakes we will ever see, Cam. You are right. He was so committed, he didn't let it bother him. He just kept it on the gas. Backstepped out a bit, but he was on the gas.
These are the moments why we love watching Mitch Ropalato ride a bike. He's always on the verge of control, and even when he loses control, he does not lose composure. Therefore, he gains control quickly. That's what it's all about right there.
Mitch Ropalato, apart from that mistake, was flawless. As soon as he bounced out of rut, he was on the pedals. His braking was on point. Commitment. You can see he's happy with that. He knows he had to pull it all out.
Mitch Ropalato advances. Wow, that is going to be a ridiculous final right there. Well, let's talk about this. Let's see who's advancing into the final in the women's category. Now, Claire Hamilton has the advantage over Via Verbeek. Claire Hamilton qualifying first out there today. Via Verbeek won the first 2 stops on this World Tour. If she wants to win this race, she's going to have to make up more than 0.18 against Claire Hamilton.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the game.
So, viewers left, you have Via Verbeek up against Claire Hamilton, your #1 seed. Via Verbeek, a little bit sluggish in those turns at the top. Claire Hamilton is showing us why she's the #1 seed here. She's out front with an advantage from the first heat.
Now, Via definitely showed that top corner a lot of respect here, but she's sneaking back. Okay.
It's going to be tight.
Well, Claire Hamilton crosses the finish line first. She had the advantage. That means she'll move into the finals, knocking out Via Verbeek.
So that's an upset for the books here. Via Verbeek will be into the small final.
So no sweep for Via Verbeek. She won 1, she won 2, she did not win 3, but she has enough points to take that overall, and we'll send her to that bronze medal round to see if she can rack up more points for that Queen of Crankworx overall. There you see Jill Kintner getting her Smith goggles sorted for this race run against a former world champion in downhill, Morgan Schar. The differential, 0.08, held by Jill Kintner. Jill has the advantage. Here we go.
So Jill absent from round 1, absent from round 2. But here she is, the queen of slalom, Jill Kintner. She is back here. She is on a mission. Slight advantage over Morgan. She's got that wheel ahead. So two opposing styles here. Morgan Schar opting for flat pedals. Lets it hang out a little bit more. Jill Kintner is calculated.
Jill Kintner through that line first, again, knocking out Morgan Schar and moving into the finals. Morgan Schar, of course, will keep her hopes for a bronze medal alive. We'll put her in that bronze medal round. Now let's take a look at this bracket. Of course, we're going to see Jill Kintner
against Claire Hamilton, our #1 qualifier. So Jill Kintner, can she come back and take another win? Via Verbeek, though, she's going to be in our bronze medal matchup against Morgan Schar.
Well, we're getting closer by the minute now to not only award some hardware here for this race, but to give away some World Championship titles and give away some points for that King and Queen overall. This is 100% dual slalom. Finals coming up after the break. Well, welcome back to 100% dual slalom. We're getting closer by the minute to the finals in both the women's and the men's categories here. We're going to give away some World Championship titles. We're going to award some points for the King and Queen overall. And we got to thank you for joining us from wherever you are in the world on Red Bull TV. And don't miss out on even more bike action check out the Bike channel on Red Bull TV. Download the app for free and enjoy the best live events, films, and shows. Sign up to download your favorite content and watch it offline, anywhere, anytime. So I told you we're getting close to those finals. Let's take a look at those brackets. Who's in those finals?
Well, what an exciting day we've had, but it's not over yet. Austin Warren, your #1 qualifier against Mitch Ropolato, who's been getting faster and faster as the night progressed. Matthew Sterling, unfortunately, didn't get to the final, so his overall title hopes are over, but he's up against Thomas Slavik on your right there, a former 4-cross world champion.
So a bronze medal on the line here. Matt Sterling would love to add to his 2019 trophy collection. Thomas Slavik, I'm sure he's got a trophy room from his long and storied career. Run #1, the bronze medal round. Here we go.
So look for Slavik to be fast out the gate. He's been opting to slow up and hop on that inside. It's been working. Oh, big mistake from the youngster Matthew Sterling.
It looked for a moment as if he was going to be able to recover from that, but not so. Thomas Slavik gets to cruise through. I'm sure he'll pick up a 1.5 max differential out of this.
And that's the tough thing you have when you're up against someone like Thomas Slavik. You know he's going to be fast out the gate, but when he actually gets a gate start and you see you've lost like a bike length already, you start pushing harder than you need to in those flat turns.
Well, we've seen him win before, so we know he has what it takes to do so, but he is a young kid. Sometimes mistakes can happen to anybody, but right there, the veteran putting an advantage on Matt Sterling. All is not said and done. That is run #1 in our bronze medal matchup, so we will get them back to the top. But in the meantime, it is time for our women's bronze medal matchup right now. Take a look at that bracket. This is going to be Via Verbeek. She's already locked up that Dual Slalom World Championship, but she's going up against Morgan Shaw right now for the bronze medal.
So a little bit of almost a victory lap for her. Incredible season, winning the first 2 rounds of our Crankworx World Tour. We're here in Whistler. This is our bronze medal matchup. Morgan Shaw. Can she sneak a bronze medal here? So they're dropping into these tricky top turns. Morgan Shaw, different riding style to Via Verbeek. She opts to drop a foot there.
So big points on the line here for the queen of Crankworx. That is what is on Via Verbeek's mind right now. Of course, she wants a bronze medal, but those points, ever so valuable.
Looking a little bit more committed than her previous round here. She was fast through that berm, made it safely through the rut, but Morgan Shaw edging back here.
Well, you're right. Via Verbeek looked more aggressive in that round right there, maybe realizing she left a little bit on the table before and now going all out. I mean, it was only 100th of a second ahead of Morgan Shaw, so that's going to be a drag race when we get them back up to the top for run #2 in this bronze medal matchup. Ooh, look at the bottom right of your screen right now. Look at these guys squaring up. Oh, Austin Warren on the left side of your screen going up against Mitch Ropolato with the gold medal on the line. Now, this quote from earlier on in the season has stuck with us. We love it. If you're thinking, you're losing. Simple as that. We always ask him, what's your strategy? That's it. Don't think too much. Just ride fast. Look ahead. Pick your line. Perfect posture out of this guy all the way down the race course. If he wins this race, gets the gold medal, he will lock up the World Championship.
So a lot on the line here. I wonder if he even knows.
No, he's not thinking.
How he's not thinking. But you know what happens when you tell yourself not to think.
You're thinking about not thinking.
Exactly. The brain only knows one thing. It doesn't hear don't. It doesn't hear won't. It doesn't hear can't. It just hears think.
Well, I think this is going to be a great race here. Austin Warren going up against Mitch Ropolato with everything on the line.
Your #1 qualifier. Can he back it up? He's looked great. There's another mistake from Mitch. How is another? There's a mistake from Austin. It's all happening out here, folks. So these 2 riders are back on the pedals. They are composed. Wow. First the mistake from Mitch, and then Austin Warren had one as well. It is neck and neck here. This is so exciting. Look how fast these riders are going.
Tight. Mitch Ropolato through the line by 0.27 ahead of Austin Warren. come on. A mistake for each rider pretty much just resets the clock, makes it an even race once again.
Cat-like reflexes from Mitch Rapalado. He was almost off the bike in that first left hand. There.
So
I can't even speak, Cam. I'm so excited. Let's take a look. He comes in committed. Loses the back, loses a foot, but he's back on. And then Austin Warren does the same. He loses the back end in just the next turn.
How about Mitch losing the top foot as well?
So Mitch Rapalado, cat-like reflexes. He bounces back, takes advantage to the next heat here.
Bounce is a good choice of words because he seriously bounced down the whole course, putting his bike in the right spot to make up. Wow, okay, well that was a great first gold medal run for the men, but let's check back in with the women because check it out. Jill Kintner on the right side of your screen right now. It is on against your #1 qualifier today, Claire Hamilton. I mean, the gold medal matchup is going to be a heater here.
I don't know how much more I can take. That was exciting. Here we are, Jill Kintner, the queen of slalom, up against Claire Hamilton, who qualified faster. So on paper, Claire should have something for Jill here. Jill has always been known to be calculated. She knows just what to do when she needs to do it. So these two neck and neck. Can Hamilton upset Jill Kintner? She's got a wheel ahead in this final straight. But that black lane gets faster as it gets closer to the finish.
There we go. Jill Kintner crossed the line first. For a second there, it looked like it was going to be close to a dead heat, but a half second separated these two racers. Jill Kintner taking the lead going into the second run of the gold medal round by half a second ahead of Claire Hamilton.
So you definitely hold more momentum as you come out of that last left-hander when you're on the white course. Look at that, Thomas Slavic, so he's got the advantage. And then we're going to see Mitch Rapalado against Austin Warren, and I can't think they can get any more exciting, but who knows?
So I can't wait to see what this differential is. I have a feeling it's going to be a big one because Matt Sterling had that mistake. Yep, max differential there, 1.5 is what Matt Sterling will have to make up behind Thomas Slavic. In other words, Thomas Slavic will have to have a mistake for that to happen.
So we saw both riders in the gold medal matchup of the men making mistakes. So Matthew Sterling, the challenge he has here is Thomas Slavic is so good out the gate. Normally you want to get out ahead, be aggressive, force a mistake, but he's going to have to play it from the back here.
There we go, they're off. This is the bronze medal round right here. Thomas Slavic against Matt Sterling. Who will take it?
So Slavic keeping it cool, calm, and collected through those turns. Wow, Matthew Sterling,
pushing hard.
He's committed, eh, Cam?
Oh, he needs that 1.5, he better go for broke.
Tomek Slavic is not playing it safely. He just went for the triple that not many riders are even doing.
Good point.
Wow.
All right, well, Matt Sterling across the line first, but it was not by more than 1.5, so Thomas Slavic will take the bronze. And we have...
So he's got his fans just bombarding him in here in the finish.
I'm just happy they have their clothes on.
All two of them in the fans.
All right, Thomas Slavic takes the bronze for the men. Who will take the bronze for the women? And will there be more crazed fans? We're about to find out. Jill Kintner is coming up later for the gold medal round. But right now, it is all about Via Verbeek and Morgan Schar. Now, this differential is as small as they come. 1/100th of a second. Via Verbeek with the lead over Morgan Schar. Here comes the drag race.
So this is as simple as it gets. Whoever crosses the finish line first will take that bronze medal. Via Verbeek, our series champion. Can she amass some more hardware, or will it be Morgan Schar, our 2012 downhill world champion? It's neck and neck here, through the rollers. Via Verbeek is been riding quite tight the whole night. This is it's all to play for. Normally the black lane here holds some momentum.
Via Verbeek will win the bronze medal out here. I mean, she came from behind. She was quite a ways behind before that final straightaway. Morgan Char, as you say, keeping her honest right there. But Via Verbeek walks away with that bronze medal. Some valuable points for the queen of Crankworx overall. You know, she wanted to win out here today, but she's got to feel good about those points. Let's check in with Michaela Gatto.
All right. Aw, big hugs. How good do you feel right now? Just yell, do whatever.
Psyched, so psyched. This is good points. I'm over, like, everyone's encouraging, and I love it. Thank you guys so much.
So you got bronze medal in the dual slalom today, but you also won the Crankworx Dual Slalom World Champion title. How does that feel?
I got it. Okay.
Did you even know that was did you even know that was going on?
Well, I knew I won the first two, but then the two of the girls were kind of looking really good, and you kind of just told me a hint at it earlier, and I was like, oh my God, it's a good day.
So we did the math for you, and you came out with the win, and you came out with the bronze. Congratulations, dual slalom. Here you go.
There we go, your world champion for dual slalom racing out here. We have determined a world champion in dual slalom. For the women, now it's time to figure out who's going to win that title for the men. Take a look at the bracket from run number 1.
So Mitch Ropalato, after that little mistake, he is got the advantage, and he's the only one that can win the title. Mitch Ropalato has to win tonight to have any chance to win the title. Austin Warren is not in the running.
Well, Mitch Ropalato doing exactly what he needs to do. Let's reminisce the day that Mitch Ropalato has had in the round of 16. He was going up against the Kiwi, Billy Meeklum.
So Mitch Ropalato qualified in 6th, and to his standards, that's a little bit below par. But he's been getting faster and faster as the heats progressed, finding some energy. It's been a long day, long week for him already.
Then he met up with Mick Hanna, did what he needed to do to eliminate the big L word, the legend Mick Hanna. Check, moving on to the round of 4.
Then he'd be up against Thomas Slavik. He had his work cut out. Even having a mistake at the top, but I think that just lit a fire in his belly, and off he went. He would take down Thomas Slavik, and that's how we see him in the final now.
Now, the big story right now is Mitch Ropalato needs to win this race to clinch the Crankworx Dual Slalom World Championship title. He has a .27 ahead of Austin Warren right now. He wants to win the event. He wants those valuable points for the King of Crankworx overall, which he is currently leading, but he also wants to be a world champion. We're going to know in a matter of seconds. Here we go.
Good starts from both riders. This is the gold medal matchup. Clean through the first 2 turns. You can see them. They're riding a little bit more tentative than the first run. Mitch Ropalato, he's got the advantage. But Austin Warren is your #1 qualifier here. He's the fastest man on track. Wow, Mitch Ropalato, he's ahead, but this is where the black lane starts getting faster. But no, Mitch Ropalato has done it, and he's won the series as well.
Mitch Ropalato adding so many points and titles to his resume right there. Dual Slalom World Champion on the Crankworx World Tour for 2019, adding 100 more points to his King of Crankworx quest, and taking away the gold here in the 100% dual slalom. Wow, what a champ.
Okay, so you won the race. You also won the Crankworx Dual Slalom World Champion title. And you're the current King of Crankworx leader.
Life's going good. Real good.
I think Ricky Bobby said something, I don't know, his quote?
Game first or last? Tough ride.
Perfect. Well, congratulations today. Triple win so far.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks to everybody cheering. It was fun.
Yeah, Mitch Ropalato, time to start thinking, because you won. If you're thinking you're losing, I can only draw but one conclusion. He managed to not think today, and now he gets to celebrate. What an impressive ride out of this guy today. And we're talking about it till we're blue in the face. The King of Crankworx overall standings. Mitch Ropalato's name is at the top of that list. But who is hot on his heels? Let's take a look at those current standings right now. We are just starting competition out here. We've got plenty more to go. Adrian Larone behind. He's got 431, but Bass, look at that, he's right there too.
But Mitch Ropalato came in by only a single point in the lead over Adrian Larone. Look at him. He's jumped up. He's at 510 points, so he's got a little bit of a gap. We've got dual speed and style coming later in the week, and downhill as well. But there are riders that we don't see there that will be in slope style.
This is what I'm going to say. Thomas Lemoyne is on that list right there. He's still got speed and style and slope style to earn more points. So that King's crown is still very much up for grabs as we are still early in competition here at Crankworx Whistler 2019. But we have another gold medal to give away right now. It's either going to go to Jill Kintner, who can add another win to her resume. She has the lead right now over Claire Hamilton by 0.52. Claire Hamilton wants that gold medal. She was your top qualifier out here, and anytime you qualify first, you want that gold medal. What will the story be?
Jill Kintner, formidable force on the slalom circuit. We haven't seen her at round 1 and 2. Both ladies clean to the first 2 turns.
There we go, Morgan Sharp trying to make up that half a second differential, but Jill Kintner making her work for it. Jill Kintner just a couple pedal strokes away from another gold medal. She has done it. Jill Kintner, absent from the first 2 stops of the 2019 season, shows up to Whistler, grabs a gold medal.
It's like she never left, Cab, but no surprise there. She was a little bit down in the qualification, down in 3rd, but we all know when the pressure's on, Jill Kintner is just so difficult to beat.
Well, Michaela Gatto is standing by with our winner, Jill Kintner.
All right, so you won Air DH. We haven't seen you at the first 2 rounds. Won Air DH, win here again today. Welcome back.
Thanks, did you guys miss me?
Yes, we missed you.
Well, it's great to be back. I love Whistler, and slalom's always a good, fun event, so how about Claire, though? Ooh, that was a good one.
Little run for your money, but we always know that you are probably the best under pressure.
Yeah, I do like it. You never know, though. Anything can happen, and that's why we race. It's, you know, that run wasn't perfect, and you feel the nerves, and it makes you feel alive a little bit, so yeah, it's good.
That's why we do it. Well, congratulations, dual slalom winner here today, Jill Kintner.
Yeah, no doubt, Jill Kintner. You are alive. You got to feel alive right now after taking that win. It's like she never left. Hopefully we see her back next year for the full 2020 season. She was the queen in the 2018 season, but now she's going to have to hand that crown over, seeing as she missed the first 2 stops of the World Tour this year. Via Verbeek is currently leading that charge with an iron fist, nonetheless. 596 points to her name. Annika Bearden is the closest in contention with 481 points. Keilani Hines in 3rd. Casey Brown, who will be competing in more events as we progress through our week here in 4th. And Georgia Astle rounding out the top 5 for the Queen of Crankworx overall standings. Now, Andrew Needling, we had a new course here, new location, a little bit more elbow room, allowing the course designers to give us even more of what we want. Final thoughts on the racing action here today?
Well, I was blown away. That final, Mitch Ropalato putting the pressure on Austin Warren, both of them making mistakes, but Mitch Ropalato got faster as the day went by. This course delivered. Amazing to see him take that win and the series. Jill Kintner, like she never left. I'm not surprised at all. She rode flawlessly all evening to take that win.
Well, how much fun was that? Well, the good thing is we're going to keep the fun rolling. Tomorrow, it's all about the RockShox Pump Track Challenge, 8 o'clock p.m. local time. That'll be under the lights the way we always do it. Get those laps in. All right, I'm your host, Cam McCall, alongside Andrew Needling, and with Michaela Gatto in the field. That was 100% dual slalom. Join us the rest of the week for all the rest of the events we have out here. Pump track, speed and style, slope style, best trick. We've got them all. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.